Nothing feels good when you're feeling bad. Nothing makes sense when you're feeling mad. Don't go around feeling sad, 'cause everybody's going around set you crazy. And you're lazy, and you're unmotivated. To the people around you in society, they control you in your mind with anxiety. You gotta break free from that mindset. Break free, break free. Break free to explode. Break free to expose all of your emotional vulnerability and the complexities of your mind. And together we will find the sun keeps shining on the other side. The sun keeps shining on the other side. The sun keeps shining on the other side of the rain cloud, of the storm clouds in your eyes. In your eyes, there's a place I know we can go and stay a while. Welcome to Meltdown Island. Welcome to Meltdown Island. To Meltdown, where we can go Welcome to Meltdown Island. Meltdown Island.
This is Dustin Gardner. He's a comedy theorist, an award-winning musician, and he's desperately trying to hold his beautiful mind together. He's a living TikTok box that thinks that if he just does one more bad take on current events, he's finally gonna become famous. Will his guests keep him on track? Will he deservedly get canceled, or will this show crash and burn as he loses control once again? Welcome to Meltdown Island.
Hey, YouTubers! Welcome to Meltdown Islands. Hey, there's Sean Hanlon.
Hey, YouTubers!
Hey, YouTubers!
Welcome to Meltdown Island. Hey, Dusty.
Hey, Sean Hanlons. How are you, bud?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty okay. I am a comedy theorist. My name is Dustin Gardner. I do not think I should be canceled. What else from that last statement? I'm not a local award winner. It was a grand worldwide prize winner.
International.
Enough about me. Sean Hanlon here writes movies. He's a dedicated ladyologist. Is that a thing?
Hi, depends
Chris.
on what you're trying to say.
I don't know. I'm trying to be cool, and I think I'm falling apart. Hi, Crystal.
Hello, Crystal.
I'm sorry.
Welcome.
I overdid your welcome. Can you?
Yeah,
can you
it
go
was
again?
a little
Go ahead.
what's the word that I'm looking for?
Loud? Aggressive?
I don't know the word.
Sustained?
Maybe a little too sustained.
Mm-hmm. That's why I brought that word up, because I thought maybe I held it for too long.
Nefariously sustained.
Well, now you're throwing in words.
As if you were trying to step over my greeting to Crystal.
So you're taking this personal. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I hear that. What's on my...
Oh, no.
What is that?
It looks suspicious.
It does. I don't even know what it is, though.
Hello, Dina.
Something... Oh, no. It's something. And now all my hats...
Something.
All my hats have holes in the top because I've been scratching at my head for too much. And for too long. What do you think about that, Sean?
Looks great, buddy.
Thanks. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Meltdown Island, the only show where we go around and we talk about, hey, what's going on in the world? Like, I don't know. I'm about to have a meltdown about um, our abortion rights being taken away. What is this about? Thank you, Powell. Well, how do you say that name?
Pavel.
Thank you, Pavel. We're all about having a safe place for us to melt down, to talk about the world melting down around us, as well as try to connect with other humans and share this experience called life, actually, together, and find a way to, what would you say, Sean, make sense out of the craziness of everything? Would you say that?
It's like a support group for the world melting down around us.
Did you know that there's a state where there's a fire?
Yeah.
And it's like people left the state. They're like, I got to get out of the state.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. I mean, look, I don't know all the answers right now, right? I looked on the phone and I just realized today we have a show in 20 minutes, and I was like, oh no.
It's in New Mexico.
What? They're
Wildfire.
They're burning the New Mexico? Why? Why are they burning the new one?
It's a fair question, buddy. I wish I had the answers.
What's wrong with the old one?
I don't know, buddy.
Cool, yeah, the world's effed up lately. Thank you, Pavel. What was something that you've noticed that is kind of effed up? Like, what's something that you're like, whoa, this is completely, why is this even a thing? I know for sure that I have been, in the last few months, I've realized that, the odds are stacked against us, right, Sean? And
Indeed.
I've surmised a way that we could maybe combat that with USA 2, us all, where we each get a blockchain number that goes to our Social Security, that goes to our thing, and then we can all vote on everything, all the time. Name something. Doesn't matter, we can vote on it. We can go around universal income, and guess what we could do? Pay every American to run this country. I don't know. I get excited about it. Hello, Dinas. Boy.
Your excitement is going to get you whacked.
Well, you know what? If I got to take a whacking or two, Sean, which I've already had, I've been whacked about a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have to stand up for freedom in America, like who? George Washington? Then guess what, Sean? I think I might. I think I might have to. I got to talk about it. No one else has talked about blockchain voting in USA 2, so somebody got to. I feel like it's me right now for Pavel.
Clearly. So go on.
Well, everyone, what? Everyone needs a good whack once in a while. Well,
Are we talking about the same thing?
Well, that's fun that you should say so, Sean. Because there's different types of whacking. There's different types of whacks. Wow.
Why are you saying it like that?
Because I like H's. Hi, Justin. John. Hi, Just Sarah. Just Sarah's over in Scotland, where it's really like 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like 10 a.m. It's like early in the morning. I know a couple of people that should be whacked. Now let's be careful. I feel like now we're going down a thing. Life is a highway, and we're driving down to New Jersey right now, and I'm not excited about it.
What are you saying about New Jersey?
I'm saying that's where the gangsters and mobs. What is this that I'm doing? Scenarios.
Uh-huh.
No, what's more?
The air quotes you're doing? What are you talking about?
You know, the mob is in New Jersey. That's a.
Okay.
What is that? What am I doing? I'm simplifying. I'm simplifying, or I'm being. Now, if I said It's not racism. It's not being a bigot. It's what is it? What is it
All
when
right.
you What is it when you make fun of somebody because of stereotypes? I never thought I'd get there. None of us did. I was stereotyping the
Okay.
word whacked.
I
Thank
get
you.
it.
What's up, party people? Party people
Hello,
in the
Kara.
house. Kara's in the house. What? Kara's in the house. Who? I thought Chicago was mob meeting spot. Well, if you've ever watched the show Boardwalk Empire, it all
I
started at
haven't.
Coney Island, which would be New Jersey's.
Coney Island is in Brooklyn.
Oh, Brookline. Really?
Yeah.
What's the other one? What's the one for Boardwalk Empire? Where was they at?
I didn't
thought they
see. Oh, that's Atlantic City.
Atlantic City, which is in Georgia.
No, it's in New Jersey.
Boy, they keep moving all these states around. Hello, Alana.
Hello, Alana.
Can I tell you what's made me super happy this week that I've discovered and have been enjoying more than learning about the world melting down around me? Let's say maybe it was an escape from all of the melting. Can I tell you?
Go on.
People waking up from anesthesia. There's something about the way that they say everything that's on their mind, and they're so earnest, yet there's a part of them where their learned knowledge, their adult consciousness have been shut down a little bit. They're very very unaware of themselves. And they'll start crying or they'll start talking. You know what I mean? I was late because I was making TikTok. That just should be the apologies for everything. Sorry, climate change. We was making a TikTok. I mean, if they would have told me that 1984 was going to be this fun, I'd have been like, let's bring TikTok in a lot sooner because it would have really helped my career at a younger age. The Sopranos are in New Jersey. Yep, that's where I was at in my head. I had just watched a special about Tony being snookied. Keeping New Jersey.
Yes.
Atlantic City. Yep, Atlantic City. And then they would, and then the people would come down from Cincinnati, and then also from Chicago, and then from New York, and they'd all come down there and they'd get all their alcohol, and then they'd go back home. Isn't that neat?
Mm-hmm.
Just thought that was interesting.
It's reasonably interesting.
That shitty city. I said, is Melania going to be on the show today?
You know who that is, Ryan? That's your love interest, the AT&T girl.
Ah, that's right. How did you know that name?
What's that?
Is that my wife?
We talked about her last week.
How do you know her name? You remember names like that?
I mean, it's an unusual name.
I agree. I don't know if it's right even. That's how it's unusual it is.
No, it's right. Because I looked that up. Because I had called her last week. I called her Milana, and Mikulik had called her Lily.
And it's Miliana.
But Lily is the character name.
Ooh. Set, serve, and then Sean Hanlon comes up with his oiled up body and his 20-pack abs and spikes it home. Mob activity is in a lot of major cities. I'm talking Vegas, Chicago, New York, etc. And they do love to lose people in the swamps of Florida. Funny you should say that, because at the end of Boardwalk Empire, that's where he goes.
Spoiler.
No, it's just saying the guy. It's a true story about a guy in his life. He just goes down to Florida.
All right.
At some point, and that's why everything gets crazy in Florida. Thank you.
But yes, a lot of. I mean, depending on what
a lot
you're
of us
writing.
have seen this. A lot of us have seen this recently.
The werewolves.
Werewolves Within. Yep. And as I was watching it with Mike Scan, what do you call it? Mike McGettigan and his crew. The Mike crew.
Oh, that was a Saturday night movie watch.
McGettigan Brew Crew. Mike and the Megetta crew. I did it.
Did he commission a name from you?
No.
Oh, all right. Well,
but if he would have, I would have reached my deadline because I'd nailed it.
Oh, you assume you would have made it within the deadline?
Yep. I would still prefer Flo to be on the show. I agree. I feel like there's not enough female representation on this show, and I have been yelling about that since day one. Maybe the month one, but it was definitely by time of the month would have come around. It was within a month. That's what I think. Sorry we let Milliana upstage Anna Stevie. Back to one. Sometimes I don't understand most bits. I feel like I'm on anesthesia sometimes. I'll be honest with you. After watching people the way they talk, I'm like, I feel like that. Sometimes. It brings out playfulness for sure. But I'd like to say this. I do have a crush on her, and I did watch Werewolves Within, and I was like, damn, Sam! Because I know this Sam, I know him, and I was like, man, Fredley got to live out my dream about the Beach Boys, and now Sam got to live out my dream with Liliana Striegeli, and then guess what else? Tim Robinson, he got to live out my dream about being on SNL. How come I don't get to do any of my dreams, Sean Hanlon?
Hey, since we're talking about the pursuit of your dream girl, just wondering how things are going with the
why did you do
with
this?
the online profile.
I thought we were
team.
friends, buddy. I thought you and I was friends.
We are. That's why I am eager for you to find love.
You ain't eager.
If you want to find love, I want you to find it. So,
I've got chosen to be on Love Island. I'm going on Love Island.
Oh, are you really? That'd be something.
No.
That'd be
That
fun.
would be something. That would be something. I'd be like, hey, ladies.
Yeah.
Hey, lady. Hey.
Love Island middle-aged version.
Hey, baby. What's this say? You know plenty of women, Dustin. You can call any of them to be on the show.
Sounds like
Sounds like a challenge.
You're being called out, buddy.
Definitely being called out. That was a mic drop. Right? So climate change. What's up with that? No way we got our targets of net zero emissions, right? I mean, that's true.
There is absolutely no way that we're going to reach our targets.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get bad. I mean, Pavel's right. I mean, we were talking about that New Mexico fire.
Go ahead.
Because of unusual weather conditions. A lot of that mainstream media doesn't cover here the massive fires in India and Pakistan right now. Massive.
I haven't heard any of that. I haven't heard any of that.
Control. Right. Yeah, no, because the news doesn't really cover it here, which is surprising because there's, the big disasters usually have visually interesting imagery and they usually love that. But I guess that's how much they don't want to talk about what's causing some of these things. So, the media is not making a big deal out of it. The politicians keep blowing it off for one distraction after the next. And, now this war is a great distraction. They're talking about more oil. We need more oil.
It sure is a distraction, but did you know that all the plastics are made of oil? And I think that they need to stop making plastics too, because we have an ocean full of them and we don't know how to get rid of it. Even though, can I say this? Now, this is where we also try to talk about, positives. So I've heard some positives. I'm going to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
First positive I heard was that in the movie Inconvenient Truth, they said by 2013 it was over. and we are right now in 2022. So again, that goes back to: is there somebody in your house?
My significant other,
Okay, good. Tell her I said what's up. I guess
Dustin, says, "What's up?"
I guess I didn't. I thought you were going to be there by yourself for like until a month, and you were coming home, and she was going to be here.
No, she came out just to visit. She's coming. She's actually flying home tonight, flying back to Detroit tonight.
Well, let her know if she ever needs a flight buddy, that I'm basically available,
All right.
and I'm very calming on flights because I go, "We're gonna make it, everyone! We're gonna make it! I promise!" And I yell that the whole time.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's not like you to be calming.
Well, it's very calming because people start to laugh after a while, and then it calm down. Now, the other positive thing I heard is they've made a mushroom that can eat plastics. So they put this fungus.
I've heard about this.
Oh, Sean Haley heard about it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now the only thing is what's that going to do? Right?
Well, you know,
it's like putting a thing in to catch another thing to catch another thing, and now we don't know nothing about no mushroom. It's going to eat plastic. What is it? What if it turns into a robot, plastic robot? Because the mushrooms have. Just saying.
Yeah, no, it's they're always leaking these stories of some new technology that's going to allow us to keep doing what we're doing so that we won't have to change. But just because something's possible doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be commercially deployed or prove itself to be economically viable. And if there's not some sort of financial motivation, nobody's going to do it. They've got the technology to take CO2 out of the air, but
they do have that. I was going to bring that up, but here's something I thought of. They got that billionaire row up in New York where billionaires own apartments that they have never even been in. Some have never have entered their apartment.
Okay, all right, man. All right, okay, back up.
So they have floors, or they have whole sections where there's allow airflow to flow through, right? So that the building doesn't, because it's so tall, they want to put the most money in one spot as they can. So I started saying, why don't they make billionaires take a CO2 thing, put it in there, and if nobody's living there, at least they could do something.
Well, I mean, that's not going to make a dent. I mean, it's going to require thousands of plants.
Okay. Here's the thing, Sean. I haven't thought of all the thousands of them where we could put them yet.
Okay.
But naysaying to anyone is naysaying to all of it. It's just like the Dustin's After Show. If we ain't going to do one of these bits, then we ain't even going to do any of them. So why are we doing here? I said that. At the read-through of my conceptual show that I had just made up, I got real defensive at one point when everybody was like, well, what if, let's not do that one. Let's not do that bit. I go, if we don't do this bit, if we don't do all the bits, then what are we doing any of the bits for? It's a show about, and I lost it about one stupid bit. I still want to do it, but still. Anyway, the attitude ultimately of, oh, it's never going to be enough. It reminds me of that story from London, England, where they had all them horses, and they were like, oh no, horse poo-poo. They said it's going to be 10 feet tall, because some mathematician sat down and said, if all the horses keep pooping at A, and the population growth is B, multiplied by factor of C plus to the 2xy, and he was like, we're going to be neck deep in poo-poo. Poo-poo in the streets, poo-poo in our hair, poo-poo in our salad, poo-poo everywhere. And then the automobile came along. And now we go, ride horses. So we almost need a game changer like the automobile or the electric automobile to be able to come along and change the paradigm the way that the car did for the horse poop scenario of the end of the world, poop storm.
I mean, Ultimately, the problem for relying on or waiting for a technology that will save us
Yes.
puts us in a position where we just don't make the changes we need to make to save ourselves.
Another positive fact here.
The
Last
problem is
year.
that the capitalists don't
Yep.
want us to change, because
100%.
the people who are making their fortunes off of the current system
Mhm.
can pay any amount of money to slow down the transition to a new system.
Mhm.
So what it's going to take is for all of a sudden it to become so problematic that they're going to do something drastic like geoengineering.
USA 2.
USA 2.
Like USA 2 possibly.
Hey,
Do I look very patriotic? Do I look like I'm future and patriotic at the same time? Like
yes, you
I'm a
do.
leader?
You
This
actually
could be
do,
on,
buddy. Well,
could be on
you
a
look
poster.
those first two things. That third thing, I'm not sold on yet, but definitely those first two things.
This could be on a poster someday.
My question is, or it could be like
Look
on
at this. And then on my
could be
hand
on
we
a
could put
profile
going
photo.
forward. Going forward.
That could be another good one for your profile, for your online dating profile.
Oh, ain't nobody got time for no wife unless she's a scientist and come along and help save the world with me. Vanessa Bayer had a nice shout out. Let's catch up on some comments here because started a wonderful conversation. Sean,
Mm-hmm.
to Detroit improvisers in a recent, oh yeah, even me, in a recent, because I don't think she knows me, in a recent, what, the podcast? Tim was
Yeah.
mentioned favorably. Well, his very first his very first show was at the Cabinet Theater, which happened to be the theater that Joey and I started back in the day, and Topher was part of. Cabinet. You must have been on Second City stage, main stage during that.
No, I remember the Cabinet. I auditioned for the Cabinet. I was did the Garden of Anal Sex. You'll recall.
I do recall that now. That's right, because we went up to the Atheist Convention,
That's right.
the National Atheist Convention. We did the
That's
Garden
right.
of Anal Sex. The Johnny Depp trial is dragging all the it's definitely taking a lot of attention.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
To be fair,
the
though,
kind
it
of
is,
pop culture distraction that people would rather pay
yeah,
attention to.
and I would too.
They'd rather read a
Because,
story or watch a video about Kim
well,
Kardashian and
Kardashians put aside.
right.
This is one for the books though, because how many times have the men in, I'm talking about history of the world, bro, been the aggressors, been been the liars, let's face facts, been the destroyers of lives, women in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, there are a lot of instances where it's the other way around. And it just goes to show you, as a feminist, I feel like I could say this, that women can be horrible people too. Thoughts, Sean?
I mean, I think it is safe to say that we can all be horrible people,
Thank you. That's all.
regardless of gender, race, or ethnicity.
Johnny Depp feigns his loathing of the spotlight because right now he is lapping it up. Dude, I've seen more videos about Johnny Depp playing guitar and bands that I was like, boy, oh boy, whoever made these videos was like, man, these will never do good. And now they're blowing up. Like, oh my God, look at me. I knew Johnny Depp playing guitar would be the best ever someday. Yeah, look at me. But there are some interesting things from that trial. Have you not seen a thing from it, Sean? You're too good.
I mean, it's I live and breathe, so it's almost impossible to have not heard something about it.
You do live and breathe. I can confirm. Plastic eating mushrooms. Whoa, you got more? My bust.
No, I was just going to say, so I have seen little bits and pieces of it. It's
Worth
interesting.
Worth it. That was worth it. Plastic eating mushrooms is potentially devastating. They definitely need to further research. Well, I say let's get some plastic, throw some mushrooms on there, and get to researching it. Let's go. Like, what are we waiting on?
Well, once they eat all the plastic, what next? Maybe they'll start craving human flesh. I mean, it could be.
We have an ocean, bud. We have a whole ocean full.
Well, we've got plastic in our bloodstream now. So what if they start coming after us to get to our
Am
blood?
I eating plastic? Can eating plastic kill you?
But it's like I said, it's because they realize that for anything to change, we have to change everybody or change everything, and we don't want to change everything
because you can't even hardly change the past.
We keep hoping for some miracle technology to come along, and it's not. And so, going way down the list, Pavel is totally right that we're never going to make these targets. And
guess what, Pavel? I also auditioned for the Second City cruise shows. But guess what? Somebody stood in my way and said, no. You may even know who they are, Sean. I ain't going to go around. I don't need to get no defamation of character trials by naming names. But allegedly, in my mind, and confirmed by other people, I know who it was. I know. Okay?
Right.
Why don't you leave me alone? Ruin people's lives and then just go on about your life. Ooh, that one hit us. That's going to get a thorn later, because I'll tell you what, it's like a whole thorn forest just popped up from my heart and surrounded it with thorns.
Okay.
Can you read this one? I don't even know. It's too
we're more selfish than we should be because our lives are finite. No one lives forever. Most talk of future generations becomes let them figure it out as people get older. Yeah, sure. I mean, that's absolutely a part of it too. Especially since a lot of times when they talk about this, it's always, by 2100, this is going to happen by 2100. And everyone's like, no, I'm not going to be here in 2100. What do I care? And to a certain extent, that's true. I mean, that's part of the problem. How you doing, buddy?
People get in the way and stand in the way of your career. That is part of the problem for me too.
Yeah. So how's that? It's all right, buddy. Mikey Brown deep cut.
Why did Mikey Brown cut me?
Oh, where's my solar powered public transportation?
Remember when they took the public transportation out of Detroit because they're like, we make cars. Everybody gonna have a car. We want everybody to have a car. We're just gonna keep. We're gonna make it hard to live without a car in Detroit. In fact, because we have cars and we have roads, and everybody have a car.
I mean, other cities did it too. Same thing happened in Los Angeles. I mean, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was based on a true story.
About the subway?
About the freeways. The freeways came and took over. But the big, was it the General Motors and Chevron?
Right, Chevron.
And Firestone, the tire company.
I don't know.
They were among the big corporations to fund shell corporations who would go around the country buying up mass transit systems and shutting them down. And
That's so mean. That's a conspiracy, Sean.
Yeah.
Where are all the conspiracy theorists at when it comes to life?
Right.
Real life. Like they all want to make believe conspiracies, but that's a real one.
Yep.
The science and city people, you know what they did is they said subways and mass transit is like the veins of a city, that if people are the blood and the heartbeat of a city, then mass transit is the arteries that moves around the people and the blood cells. And without it, cities get chubby and clogged, and then they have spewing of the gasoline fumes. I don't know if that's 100%, but I feel like
I think you kind of lost it at the end there.
Am I eating plastic? That's the Mikey Brown deep cut. Yep. Am I eating plastic? Dick and eating plastic kill me. You. He's never going to put that out on TikTok. I should just put it out for him, right? Before somebody else comes around and finds it, then they put it out, and then I'm like, but I know Mikey Brown. Somebody will find it, and I just put it up, and I'll be like, oh, I found this. Whatever, it's no big deal. No one else would ever have seen it. Term limits. Do y'all think it would help at all if 80 and 90-year-olds weren't making decisions? 100%. But under than term limits, I would say less than term limits, more like age limit. You got an age requirement to get into it. Guess what? You get too old, you get out of it. Pardon me.
Well, I mean, I feel like there was like this concept of mandatory retirement too. Once you reach a certain age,
you do a gentleman's nod, and then you say,
right.
Good evening. My service is done."
But here's the thing: I don't think it's an age factor as much as it is a corruption factor. Because Bernie Sanders is an old man.
Yep.
I still trust him to be making decisions for the country because
he's said the same thing since the 70s. He said the same thing since the 70s. He's never changed. He's not gone like, I think surfboards are bad. I like surfboards. He's never done that. He said surfboards for everyone.
the problem is that how we finance our elections and how they we've got to get corporate money out of politics.
And what we say earlier about corporations, they'll go out and they'll take away all the subways and the mass transit. Right. What else will they do? They'll go out and they'll pay money to keep it at status quo for you French people.
Well, and those in Congress, they shouldn't be able to buy and sell stocks based on information they have as a congressperson.
Pavel and Sean.
They shouldn't. Be able to leave office and go make 7-8 figures
as a lobbyist
working for a lobbying firm. Yeah.
Yep. Boy, you were right on the same page as this comment right here.
Yeah, right there. If I just would have looked down, I would have found a better way to say it.
You was in your zone, bud. Nobody try to mess up people's zones.
But good point, Mark Mikula.
Yes, I do trust Bernie to make decisions. Yes, I do. I just got a text from somebody saying, trust Bernie to make decisions? I would. Now, would he have been better making decisions 8 years ago? I don't know.
I mean, probably.
I mean, but now we talk about ifs, ands, and buts. And guess what? Buts don't get you nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just made that one up. I don't know if that's a saying. They'll never set age limits due to the age discrimination laws. Some old folks are with it, though. Sean's right. Corporation factor. Money, what is it? Freedom of speech, and then what they do. Speech equals money, and then it costs to speak. Huh?
Yeah.
Then it costs to speak?
It's, I mean, it's the kind of thing that is so infuriating that you'd rather talk about Johnny Depp.
Oh my God. Or just people coming off of anesthesia. That's been my jam all week.
Yeah. I mean,
I was watching it when all of a sudden I was watching it and I was working on my new board here, bud, my new loop station. Because I was like, I can't do my old songs. And Sean was like, why not? And I was like, Gauntlet challenge accepted. So I'm working on that stuff and I'm watching my anesthesia videos. And then all of a sudden I said, oh no, it's Tuesday at 4:40. We got a show. And I'm like, what do we do this show for? And then Pavel was like, what's this show all about? And then I feel like we really made a case for ourselves. But I'm not Mr. Know-It-All. I'm just Mr. Dustin. Is that a trap for you? I don't know. What were you about to say?
I don't know. It feels like a trap. So
I know, me too now.
I was thinking of deflecting back to the online dating profile, wondering
See, that would have got you in trouble. I'm
wondering if
glad you
the
did it.
wondering if the team had made any progress. Excuse me, on putting together the
No.
revised.
And I'll
dating
tell you
profile.
why, Sean. I've given everyone a complex.
Okay.
It's
Go
accidental.
on.
It's accidental. But the more that people get to know me, they start going, because every once in a while they'll hear me go, oh, no, I hate that. And I haven't said that yet to any other people, or they didn't know that. But then they're like, oh, he hates that? And it's not that I hate it, but there's just times where I put more weight on words than other times, and or vice versa. And you've been a victim of this probably many times, Sean.
Probably.
You know
I'm
the
sure.
old saying, I'm screwed either way. I'm screwed if I say something, or if I don't, or if I go, or if I don't. If you get me an ice cream, or you don't, which you did.
Oh yeah.
But I could have made it bad. I could have been like, somehow. But I was so grateful. But, so, they started talking about it, and I was like, no. And then they put up some pictures, and they talked about it jokingly, but I came in there, I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And then it was crickets, because I think I came in too late, and I'd already given complexes to everybody. Because, you know what I mean? I got doctor. I'm supposed to go to Mayo Clinic. I've had two applications now and an interview on the phone.
Right.
And they were like, well, you got $5,000? Because you need $5,000 for you come even talk to us. And I'm like, no problem.
Well, I mean, that's again that you have to come up with $5,000. It goes back to the political corruption. That's why we can't have Medicare for all.
Yeah, this is going to the medical clinic, Mayo Clinic.
Mm-hmm.
But remember when I did have Obamacare and they paid for everything? Gosh, those were the days. I love that. Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama, for that giveaway to the health insurance industry.
Dang, why you got to make it negative?
I mean, he blew it. They had a super majority in Congress.
Majority? Listen to him.
Super majority.
Majority. Majority. It's majority.
Okay. I was parsing out the syllables for emphasis.
I saw.
For
emphasis. Okay.
Anyway, it was a good bit though to call me out. That's fun.
Thank you. But ultimately, because they paid for mine, I got mine. What do I care about anybody else? I'll tell you why. Because I'm everybody else. Because I'm now wanting. I haven't gone to the doctor in years now. And it's been 8 years. And have you seen my head?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have, buddy.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I don't even like to think about it. I like to watch Johnny Depp or anesthesia videos because I prefer to have anything else other than thoughts about my head or politics or the melting down of the world. What's so funny?
I was drawn to Mikula's bit there, which you clicked on.
Anesthesia. Why you got to tell everybody the juices that are being made? Why you got to be like, oh, by the way, Dustin's squeezing the teats right now. You know what I mean? Why you got to be like that? How's milk going to get made if somebody don't give it a squeezing? And here you are. I was trying to set it up with the anesthesia, like bringing it back around. I don't mean to get so upset. But if we're doing a comedy show and I say, what you laughing about? Even though I push the button, you should know. You should know to be like, oh, but you called me out. Maybe it's because I called you out just seconds ago. So I'm checking myself. I already wrecked myself, but now I'm checking. I'm doing it backwards.
Okay. I feel like this is a big misunderstanding.
Yeah, mostly my part. Oh, here's old Tom. Remember Tom?
Oh, yeah, Tom. Hey, Tom.
I've been frustrated by the RVW, I tell you. That's insane. Remember when they all got together in the middle of the night? It was nighttime. And they all were like, Amy Coney Barrett, hey, everybody. Everybody's like, she's not a judge, though. She's not a judge. Yeah, can't help it.
It's frustrating.
She pooped on his bed, and her poop was bigger than one of the dogs. And that's how he knows that it wasn't dog poop. What? I'm sorry, but poop's going to get our attention every day more than Sean's not ruining it. He just keeps the politic facts straight. Well, thanks, Sean. How about that? That was pretty nice of me.
That was.
Why do I have to see so many commercials about pharmaceuticals with all of these people dancing around while talking about side effects? One of the side effects of our pharmaceutical is you might dance happily out of the blue because, I don't know, you having sex again.
Yeah, those pharmaceutical commercials are so gross. But
if you hear music and you start dancing and there's no radio playing, you might be having a seizure. Stop dancing and go directly to the doctor.
But TV stations and networks are making a ton of money from them. So, and then even doctors hate them because instead of just being a doctor and recognizing a symptom and saying, hey, there's a medicine for that, they have people coming to them saying, tell me about this medicine. And, I want this medicine. When the doctor could be like, I don't know if it's going to help you, or if I don't know if you're going to, if it's going to react with other medicines that you're taking.
Happy pills. I want to be happy.
So it's taking the power out of the hands of the medical practitioners and putting it into the hands of the marketing department.
They do say if you want to buy car insurance from many of the car insurance places, you're not paying for the car insurance, you're paying for the commercials. You're paying for which advertisement, because Progressive's got one. You've got the Gecko, they got the Caveman, they got the Flow, they got all of them. They got all of them mostly. And then they got Progressives. They got, I have a deep voice. I talk about Progressives.
And then there's you got to pay the executives. Mm-hmm. And their multi-million-dollar deals. You've got to kick some.
Ooh, I wish I was an executives.
You got to kick some back to the stockholders.
I wish I had stocks.
We're being fleeced. We're being fleeced, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Wish I had a fleece.
And here's the thing too. I feel like this. Thank you, Pavel. I think that, that's why you're starting to see this military buildup in the police departments too, because ultimately the police departments are the army of the establishment. So if there's any kind of revolution, if there's any kind of protest, the police are dispatched to break it up.
Because it's private properties.
Yeah, it's, in more states, not so much outlawing, protesting, but jacking up the penalties to be so high that it would make most people think twice about going to a protest, because if they got arrested, they just would not be able to afford it.
I already second guess going to a protest, because if anybody bumps me, I'm afraid I might fall over and be dead after that. Amy Coney Barrett did not poop on the bed, did she? Irregardlessly, she's my least favorite Coney.
Oh my God, Mikula. He's packing in. He's making these comments dense.
Yeah, well, he saw that there was some. It was like we had double digits here, viewers, and he's like, "Man, I need to really pop out with some comments right now."
This is my chance. This is my big chance.
I'm gonna show you, world. More like a canary than a Coney. What kind of person purposely shits the bed? Amber Heard, you heard about it? Thank you. Yes, and to Sean's points. Sean, I'm going to subscribe to your political commentary.
Well,
it's here on Meltdown Island, by the way, so make sure you subscribe right now to Meltdown Island. Go ahead, Sean.
I think a lot of people subscribe to these observations, you know, all of the individual
Where's he going with
things
this?
that we say that we want are favored by the majority. You know, more than
Majority?
60
Are
to
you
70.
okay? Are you picking up a California accent out there
Majority.
with your
What did I say
majority?
that wrong? The majority. I said majority.
You said majority.
Did I?
You got me
I don't know.
freaking out. You got me tripping out like I'm on something.
Are you on something? Let's go to the question. Are you on something?
I've tried this new drug that I'm trying daily called anesthesia.
All right.
Why don't they give that to criminals? By the way?
Anesthesia was my favorite Disney princess.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But the thing is, these are all things that most of us agree on, that we should have health care, that, you know, that we shouldn't be getting fleeced, that our political system shouldn't be corrupt. I mean, these are things that we all really agree on. So they keep us distracted by all the stupid stuff.
I don't want to wear tape on my head. I agree with that, though I do it. You know what I mean?
I mean, most people want for women to have access to safe abortions.
Yeah, because guess what? They're going to do it anyway. They're going to do it unsafe.
Ugh.
We're going back. We're going back. Gonna go back in time.
It's sad. Sad state of affairs.
It's the worst state of affairs, to the point where, hi there, welcome. My name's Dustin. Welcome to the USA 2 Project. Us all. Yep. You tired of sad states of affairs? Well, guess what? Made me president, and I'll make it happy states of affairs. Dare you. That might be a political, I dare you.
I dare you. Vote for me. I dare you.
Huh? You chicken? Chicken.
That's a fun game.
Oh, you don't like progress? Guess what? You either progress or you get progressed.
All right.
Process. You know what I mean? Something there. There's something there. I'm going what? I'm going to try to type the wrong worms. I know he meant words. I know he meant words.
To help with Dustin's reading compression.
Comprehend. Listen, you act like I'm on anesthesia. Men should just rescue themselves from abortion cases for lack of standing.
Recuse.
Thank you. Not rescue.
No.
Boy, I was so brave when I read words that I knew were wrong. But then when I read words that were just like, I'm just being... And then I got them wrong. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Like Rescue Rangers. Or DuckTales or some bullshit. Doesn't need any help to read the wrong words. That's right. It's the right words I need help with. Gosh. So patronizing.
Save it for Rose and Thorns, guy.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to everyone's favorite part of the show. This is
so we're going to go right to Roses and Thorns?
I thought you led me into it with that one.
Oh. Hey, stop showing them how the juice is put into the sidewalk.
You're right. Nobody likes to watch them squeeze the teeth.
Nobody wants that. Ay, caramba.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to everyone's favorite part of the show. This is called Roses and Thorns. This is where we sit back and we go, you didn't do very good, or wow, you did a great job at that part. And we give each other roses and then thorns. But gotta remember, every rose has a thorn, but not every thorn has a rose. Hey, Sean.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, buddy.
What's your first thorn for the day?
My first thorn?
Your first thorn.
My first thorn is to the sense of helplessness I feel when talking about the corruption inherent in our capitalist oligarchical system.
Do you think that's one reason we get we start forgetting that we have a show because we don't want to deal with all these emotions every week?
Maybe.
I think that I kind of did today because I was like, oh, crap, we got a show. And I was like, oh, I don't want to talk about all this bullshit again. But it won't go away.
Yeah.
And much like 1984, if we ignore it, we'll just start saying totes and things like that about it, and then everybody won't do anything. And then all of a sudden, it's 1986, and we've all died and passed away.
I've got a rose for all of your looks today, buddy.
How many? Oh,
All your various
poses?
looks that you did, your various poses.
I had some.
Yeah.
I had some posing.
As
Thorns
promised,
and
as
tweets.
promised.
There it
she did
is. There it
promise
is.
that it was coming.
There it is. Yeah. To be fair, to be fair, it's something I don't go around saying. Rose to Sean for his political passion and for justice for destroying. I got the juice. That's the song. A second thorn for saying squeezing.
Rose to Alana and Kara for
Double thorn. Well, as I should be.
for the Thorn tag team.
Makes me want to sing a parody song, though. I'll be honest with you.
Do it.
Every tweet needs its squeeze.
I've got a
Here's
thorn.
the thing is, I said tweet, not even the right word, which upsets me. Go ahead.
My thorn is that there hasn't been enough parody singing today.
Needs a squeeze, just like every cowboy sings a sad song about getting thorns for squeezing tweets. You see how it wrapped back around there? That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to give Sean a rose.
Go on.
For, making a pact and sticking to it, I guess. I can't look at you right now because maybe there's too many emotions in the rose I'm giving. I'd like to give a thorn to myself.
Go
Or,
on.
you know what I mean? Just being a little bit too rambunctious and giving people complexes. I dislike that about myself.
Okay.
But I can't help but do jokes. And jokes end up making people second guess everything. And then I start feeling bad. But man, it sure is difficult when you got that utter sensation of scrunching it and thorn for getting to it. See how I like to use comments, but in a different way sometimes?
Sure. That's part of your bold vision for the show.
I didn't mean to yell at you earlier. Thorn for me yelling at you for not getting that I was
setting up that comment?
Yeah. Thorn for me calling you out about setting up that comment. But rose to me for calling you out about majority. There's no why there. It's not maybe.
All right, buddy. Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
I got a rose for your camera. Maybe that's why I've liked your poses so much, just because the image is just so crisp, and it's got like an Ozark blue to it. Maybe that's what it is.
I like that you think that there's a color called Ozark blue. That's fun.
Yeah. Well, just by that, I just meant the blue tint that you see in the Ozark show.
Are you saying you watched season 4, part 2?
I'm making my way through it. No spoilers.
How you doing on Raised by Wolves?
I'm going to get back to that shortly.
I think Andy needs to watch it with you to help you understand it fully.
Oh, I think I understand it.
There's a mother and a father in it for a reason.
All right.
And you can't be everything to everyone, Sean, including yourself. I know. Don't get mad at me about life needing community. Don't get mad at me about it. I didn't come up with that. Life did.
Oh.
John. Now,
hey, there's a rose for you on the floor. Pick it up.
All right, a rose for me for my commentaries and to keeping the lightheartedness of a show. Commitment. Yep, committing to keeping lighthearted and focused on Anastasia videos. I'm honest when I say they are very heartwarming. There's something about
videos?
The way there's something about the non sequitur answers or their emotional outbursts that have nothing to do with what was just said or talked about. That's just so refreshing. It's so refreshing to the day in, day out doldrums of, I don't know, knowing everything or being real smart and not having to, not being surprised. Those videos are surprisingly funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, they didn't have many when I was a kid because they didn't have a camera every time they was out about.
I like pets reunited with their owners. I think those are always heartwarming too.
Yeah, if you need to cry it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then there's sometimes where you're like, I need to get happy right now. And yes, there have been times where Dr. Stephen Brule has done that for me.
Mm-hmm.
John C. Reilly's character, Dr. Stephen Brule. He makes me laugh. But now I found a second source of happiness, which is anesthesia videos. You want me to show you one? No, come on. We're finished. Thorn to Dustin for teasing spoilers again.
Rose to the bit.
Okay, what spoilers did I ruin? And then what bit did I do?
The Boardwalk Empire, you sort of hinted toward the spoilers on that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Florida?
Yes, again. There it is again.
Learn history. Okay. I learned my history by watching everything on TV. Go ahead.
Raised by Wolves. You got a little close. You got a little bit teasy with the spoiler with that, maybe.
I have not. I told you the final line of the second season, which is, what the fuck?
To tell me the final line of a season, I hate. I don't know what your definition of a spoiler is, but that is a spoiler.
Nope, that's something to look forward to in life. That's
Okay.
something.
Right.
That's something to keep. That's something like Star Wars. Don't you want to see somebody who gets so discombobulated that they have to say that out loud? No one is around them. Huh? Rose to men that can only express their emotions through YouTube videos. Thank you. I accept this on behalf of both of us, man.
That's a great bit.
I'll be honest with you, because most of the time I don't want to talk about emotions. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what?
You skipped one.
That brings up emotions in someone else, and then we got to talk about their emotions. And then that makes me feel something, and then we got to talk about that emotion. And it's almost like a never-ending loop of emotions. It's like I'm trapped in a cage of emotions. You were leaning into Ozark. Oh, I was. I leaned.
That's right.
You want to know about that one? Pavel. Sean is a total bald one, and he's a lucky gal.
Actually, I'm the lucky guy to have Andy.
He is.
Sure.
He really is. I mean, it's really look, my hands right now. Right now they're up. Hands down, Sean's the lucky one. Hands down. Sean is the lucky one.
But I accept that as a rose.
Yep.
Total bald one is nice.
Yep. He's got a total Baldwin booty. Baldwin booty. Booty. Baldwin. Rose a dozen for making me actually laugh out loud when he came out of my reading comprehension line and immediately biffed the red.
Yes. I second that, Rose.
I second that emotions. Oh. The second season of Werewolves Within was great. Sam Richards did a great job. It's not the second season, bud. It's not seasons.
I was going to say, is that a movie?
It's movies. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is there a sequel?
No. I think he's trying. I think somebody named
Raised by Wolves. Maybe he conflated.
Oh, he's confusing.
Maybe he conflated Werewolves Within with Raised by Wolves.
I'm a con flautist. I go around with my flute and I play flute songs and I con people out of their money. I'm a con flute.
Of course, the tag Sam Richardson did a great job. Does cast a little doubt on
Well,
my
Sam Richardson got to
speculation.
be with my crush. Now, you think she's not on a dating website. Why would she be on a dating website? She looks like she looks.
Milana.
Yeah. At one point, I was like, how'd she get a jawline like that? Like what the heck? I ain't never had no jawline like that. And I think it's just because she's real thin.
Mm-hmm.
Thorne and Dustin for not wanting to hear about other people's emotions. I second that emotion. If you feel like giving me a lifetime. Those are the hands down bit. Thank you, Thomas.
Nice.
Mr. Schultz, if you're nasty.
With certainly deserved the rose for that bit. It's great. Reserve Ed.
Yep. I conflated the werewolf.
That's all right, buddy. That's all right. It's funny.
Movie. Oopsie whoopsie. Raised by Wolves is a prequel to the Alien franchise.
Let's not get crazy. That feels like a spoiler.
No, again, if you just read one article about the show.
I don't read articles about shows that I'm watching for this very reason.
And then you got friends like me who will research a show and get excited about it and then be like, hey, did you know it's directed by Ridley Scott's?
Okay.
A TV show. And you would be like, wait, Ridley Scott's from the only thing he's ever made, which would be Aliens or prequels or sequels to Aliens, which would be Prometheus's and all the Covenants and all the other ones. He's only done Aliens. He ain't never done anything else.
Well, I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if it's true either, but I feels right. So
I feel like he's done it. He did Blade Runner, I think. He did that. The Martian. I know he did The Martian. I think he did Gladiator too.
And again, they're all connected through Raised by Wolves.
Black Hawk. I think he might have done Black Hawk Down.
It's all connected through Raised by Wolves.
I think he might have even done Thelma and Louise.
So the difference between Werewolf Within, and Raised by Wolves is everything.
Okay.
You can't understand Dirty Dancing or you can't understand Dirty Dancing or Werewolves Within without watching Dances with Wolves.
That's a good point. See what he did there? He used that like a transitive property.
I hate what he did. Now, see, that could give him a complex, and I wouldn't want to give him a complex because I don't hate it, but I said it.
I think it's pretty clever. I think it's a pretty clever mathematical joke. The kind of thing that you can expect from Mikula. I
like math jokes, and it is a math joke, and I would say, great job. However, because it made me laugh, it made me go,
speaking of distracting celebrity news, though, did you see that they're going to make a sequel to the Dirty Dancing?
Dirty Dancing 2?
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be called, but Jennifer Grey is signed on to be part of it. Even though she's like 60 now.
She's going to be Roadhouse? She's going to be him?
Yeah. No, And
they're going to have a young boy named Baby, and they're going to put him in a corner?
No, I think that the concept is that she's taking her family up to that Kellerman's many years later.
And she's going to be like, hey.
Yeah,
I have
no idea what the story could be, because it seems like Patrick Swayze would be a major part of it. You'd think, or maybe
a major part of it.
Yeah.
And now they're just going to have a picture of him on a wall.
But for those of you thinking, they already did a sequel with Havana Nights.
They already did a sequel with the Havana Nights, Sean.
Technically, Dirty Dancing Havana Nights was a prequel, from what I understand.
Ridley Scott directed it. Would your say research a show, or would you say fell into obsessive information hole? I do like TV a lot, more than most people, I've realized. More than most. I think people like it similar. Like it's not like okay, I do taste more than most people, but
You
I
taste
get
more?
yeah. I have one of them. I have too much. I taste too much in my mouth.
You have what? Too many taste buds? What do you mean? How do you taste too much? I've never heard of that ailment.
Oh, I heard about it on Oprah.
Okay.
On once.
Wait, was it Dr. Oz though? Did Dr. Oz tell you about it? Because
I
that
don't
wouldn't
know.
be trustworthy.
This is a bit that I do now for years, and Oprah's not on TV anymore. Even
Okay.
where did the extra wolf go?
All right, and show.
Fun fact: Raised by Wolves was also a prequel to Gladiator in Dustin's mind. Well, you'd be surprised.
All right.
That's all I can tell you. Because guess what? Ultimately, the show is saying nobody puts old baby in a corner. What if does Patrick Swayze have any children? What if she had Patrick Swayze's love child and they're going back there and they get real Patrick Swayze's child to be baby? Thoughts?
Good question.
Thank you.
Stand by. I don't see any. I don't see anything about him having any children.
He wasn't blessed with children either, much like you and I.
Right. Or he was blessed. He was blessed with no children. I think that's what you mean to say.
I knew we had a connection to Patrick Swayze in some way. I felt it, but I didn't know why.
Nicola's got another beauty coming up.
Better. They just mashed up Dirty Dancing and Ghost. It would be better, actually. Remember Whoopi Goldberg? She was great in that.
Or, being that she's an old woman now, maybe Titanic, Dirty Dancing, and Ghost.
They already did Titanic too, bud.
But the Titanic doesn't sink because
it capsizes and sinks.
Right.
Spoiler alert. Patrick Swayze's brother could play old Swayze's. Really? He's got a twin brother?
I don't know.
You'd have to have a twin brother in six packs, or we ain't going to the movie. Let's just all go to the movie.
Oh, Don Swayze and Sean Kyle Swayze. He's got two brothers.
Don Swayze?
Donald Swayze.
Oh, that
and
poor dude.
He is also an actor.
That poor dude.
Noted for acting in dramatic series and soap operas.
Does he look like Patrick?
He actually does. He kind of does look like an old Patrick Swayze.
All right. I'd be open to it then. I'd be open.
Yeah.
I think
that would be acceptable. A sibling would be acceptable.
I think that he should. Well, I don't want to give away my acting tricks, but if he walked with a limp and was like he was in a war or something, I'd be like, that's him.
Like Summersby?
Like Summersby. Could be a Whoopi Goldberg biography of her 18-month relationship in the 1990s called Dirty Dancing.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a good one. Because dancing. Woo! Welcome to Meltdown Island, everyone. We are on fire right now.
Was it just 18 months that they were together? It feels like it was longer. Remember that blackface controversy?
There was blackface, and there was that. Whenever there's racism, it feels like it's been a century. He was great in Next to Kin. I'll take your word for it. I don't like the word kin after we said racism because it's too much like Ku Klux Klan to me.
All right.
I'm just saying. Okay, Sean.
I was just I had so many Google searches open. I had to shut
You okay?
them down. Yeah, I'm okay.
You need to Google search within your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Back to one. Anastasia! I'm home!
So,
what's wrong?
just Corporations are not people.
Please stop the insanities.
And
Allow people the freedom of choice of their bodies. Would you want somebody to tell you that you're not allowed to brush your teeth? Think about that.
You're blowing my mind.
What?
Lily, the AT&T girl, if you're watching, give Dustin a call.
If we go into a world much like the world of Handmaid's Tale, I will come find you, Lily. And I'll save you
Oh, okay. All right.
from that world, and I'll get you to Canada to be free.
Yeah, I, for a second I thought you were gonna say you were.
How
you would
dare
make
you?
of Dustin?
Of Dustin's not a bad. No, no, that's how much I
No.
refuse. Handmaid's Tale areas. Oh, we gonna go for one face? One.
One.
You gotta look in the camera,
face.
though. Gotta come forward. Come forward more. Yep. Now look at the camera. I love Dustin. Oh, you said it.
Mm-hmm. Or did the other half of you say it?
Dang. I'd like to say this.
Go on.
Thank you for watching Meltdown Island, everyone.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
I hope you have a great day
Tune in next week.
when we find out what happens next week.
When maybe we get a girl to join us.
Maybe.